And Steve, what's going on, y'all? So, welcome back. This is the Week 10 recap. As you guys can see, we got a special guest. I would say in the building, but we're doing this through the streams. Number one in the rankings right now, number last in friendship zones because this man picked up my quarterback, killing me on that one. But y'all, let me introduce you to my man Sticky, aka Harry. He's leading the league right now. Me and him had a tough little matchup. We're gonna go through it with y'all. Chess. That's what it was all about, basically. We were trying to strategize against each other, and it got to the point where too much strategy, and some of it didn't even work out. We had a nail biter of a finish of a game. Literally a 3 to 4 point difference between three players throughout the entire game. The last 2 to 3 minutes is when it actually started separating. Heartbreak, man. Heartbreak. Hands team, let's get into it, baby. So this is if you ain't first, you last. Right now, I'm last. Harry, ironically, is first. Breaking down into the things. I would start off by telling you guys that I started Kyler, and that's my goon right there. So after that 4 point performance, I had to make some type of change. And the only thing that I saw was the weakest spot was Kyler. I heavily debated it, and I'm like, he's a goon, he's a monster, top 5 quarterback when he's balling. When he's not balling, it's real rough. Top 30 quarterback, 20 plus. And I should have stayed with it. You guys are going to see how the week I dropped him, he decided just to drop 30. And it was 28 to be exact. I've already talked about him way too much. So let's talk about who replaced him. Mr. Jared Goff. Shout out, baby. Jared Goff has been on a tear all year. I made a video early in the season talking about how I actually liked him as an MVP candidate. He was, I don't remember how many games, I think it was 4 or 5 games. He was going more touchdowns than incomplete passes. Absurd. Fucking wild. So, he had a good matchup against Houston. Kyler plays sauce and the Jets bomb defense. Yeah, the bomb defense part was the defense bombed. They were horrible. They sucked. Kyler destroyed them. Well, Goff threw 5 picks. 2 of them happened in the first 5 minutes. I kind of gave up after that. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I didn't even care. As you guys know, Goff did not do good. Now, going into the other aspects, strategy-wise, here was the key components. I had the last game of the week, and we'll get to it, as I had Kupp just chilling down. My opponent, Harry over here, he had Puka. He had a different quarterback in. I mean, I'm going to let him tell you what his game plan was and his thought process was behind that.
I mean, it's kind of simple. I mean, to start off the week, as you know, I had Darnold in there, but Darnold is a guy that even though for the most part he's played well for fantasy, he just tends to throw picks and turn over the ball. So I kind of got sick of that, and I rolled the dice and picked up Stafford. Not only because I wanted to change at QB, but obviously you had Cup and I had Nakua, so I just saw it as a way to minimize the damage in terms of the points that Cup can get. And if by chance the touchdowns happen to go to Cup, then that would be 7 points for me as well. And then on the other side with Nakua, just if Stafford throws touchdowns to him, then it's double points. That's a 14-point swing every time. So I was like, this is not really much of a gamble, right? It's more of a kind of like a safety net, in my opinion, how it ended up working out. Um, and I'm glad it worked out, even though like I said, Stafford had me in the first half, bro. I was losing it. I was like, how the hell am I about to lose this matchup when I'm playing 2 people and a quarterback is the one that's supposed to put up the most points on a weekly basis. So, bro, I was going nuts, bro.
So that whole game, hands team, it was false hope for me. And that loss hurt so much. This is Thursday. This is why we're doing this, because I couldn't talk about this until at least a couple of days after. Man, again, the entire game, we are neck and neck. I'm up 4 points. Puka gets a catch. He's up 3 points. Cup gets a catch. I'm up a point. we were literally, Stafford throws a pick, he gets a fumble, he gets sacked. We were literally neck and neck. And man, I knew it. My heart was like, you're not going to win. Do not get excited. This is false hope. But bro, when it lasts for 89% of the game, that false hope starts to turn into reality. And I was sitting there thinking, like, I can't believe I'm gonna pull this off. Oh my God. I started celebrating already. I'm calculating what ranking I'm gonna be for the playoffs. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I can't believe I did it. And yeah, I can't believe it because I didn't do it. But yeah, Stafford, as bad as he played for you, all in all, it was a smart play. And you were talking about the interceptions. Yeah, Darnold threw what, 3 interceptions, I believe it was. So off rip, you're tired of them. You know what? That's horrible a game Stafford had. Darnold actually threw more interceptions than Stafford, which is wild. So you basically stated your point perfectly on that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong either, because Darnold throws more picks, but like the amount of times that Stafford got sacked that night was ridiculous, bro. Like I was losing my shit, dog. To be honest, and that's when I ultimately made the decision that I can't play him long term, bro. I can't trust that old line, because if that's gonna happen on a daily basis, then I'm done.
There's no way in hell I would ever agree with playing Stafford long term. Even being a Puka or Cup manager, there's other options, much better options. Don't do it. That would be my forget. As a streaming thing, here and there, depending on the matchup, all day, every day. I'm a big fan. But Stafford's old. He's not that mobile. He's not that quick to scramble. His elbow is messed up. Even though he still slings it like it ain't no problem, he's hurt, man. And he's come out and said it many times he can only do a certain amount before it gets to the point where, if you watch the games and you see it's a rigorous game, and he's already logged in 30 passes, yeah, the distance between that 31st and that 30th pass is probably going to be at least 5 to 10 yards. He's going to start dump passing it. Regardless, though,
Right.
Stafford's a good. I like Stafford a lot. Now, hey, shout out. We both ended up playing starting wide receivers for New York. Neither one of them played good. The gamble sometimes doesn't always work. I got Malik Neighbors with a solid 10. I've been running this one quote with Malik for the past, I think, 3 or 4 weeks now. And it's, you've done so much better, Malik. But then again, with Daniel Jones, you could do so much worse. So 10 points, I'm happy. I am sufficient with that. He has the potential to ball out. I could definitely see him playing much better. Low-key, I'm excited. Drew Lock is starting this week. Drew Lock is probably better than
That's good for him. That is good for him.
I don't think Daniel Jones is that good. And if
he's not,
a horrible game for Neighbors is averaging 8 to 10 points, 10 points, double digits, bro, if he has a bad game with Drew Lock, okay, what is he going to give me, 10 points? He might give me more because I think Drew Lock is going to hyper-target him. I would.
I would.
Why? Now, we finally got to flip a little bit. I haven't checked out what Adams did, but Garrett Wilson with only 9. That one hurts. Not only you, hurts me too, but talk to me about it, bro.
No, I mean it just seemed like Rodgers just couldn't get it together all game long. I don't really see it as a wide receiver issue from Adams or Garrett Wilson. You're gonna tell me you have those 2 guys on the field and they can't get open? Like there's no way that's the problem there. So it was just kind of a matter of quarterback play, and Aaron Rodgers is, as much as we thought like this was going to be a team that was going to contend for the division title or whatever the case may be. I mean, his age is showing, the injuries. When you have such a serious injury, you're just never the same. And when you pile that up with being old, then you're not really mobile, and you're just kind of sitting there in the pocket, a sitting duck. And it showed the other night, man. And it hurts because like having that type of game and seeing Garrett Wilson only get me 9, I was like, this shit can't happen in the playoffs, bro. So
I agree.
So it was worrisome, and it was so worrisome, bro, that I mean, I wouldn't say I panicked, but I was trying to package him in a trade with Monty this past weekend, and unfortunately it didn't pan out or whatever. But that's what the plan was. And honestly, bro, I was trading Tony, Garrett Wilson, and Monty for Amon Ra, bro. I think that's a good trade.
That's pretty fair to me.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, because he was like, oh, I'd be taking kind of my wide receiver core would be taking a hit, and then I was like, really? Would it really? I was like, Garrett Wilson is the number 3 receiver in the league right now, and Amon Ra is number 7. So I mean, what type of hit are we talking about here? And then I'm giving you
The only
Monty on the back end, in which is a solid flex play.
the only way I would say would be taking a hit would be he's probably thinking taking a hit going forward wise. Because I mean, maybe you feel differently, but I still feel like there's some uncertainty with
For
Garrett and
sure.
Devontae. Just
Agreed.
based on not even with Rodgers, I'm speaking based off their own production. Um, it was last game. I know Wilson's played better every game. I'm not saying that was just like he's played game better every game, and he's got more receptions. But I believe last game Adams had more targets, and
Yeah, he did.
that's what low key scares me because the first game he had more targets. So he had the giant 30-point blow up with Devontae there, and we loving that. But was that just a situational event type of thing? Because if he's going to see 20 plus targets again, I don't know what Adams is looking at. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. No, yeah. So I understood Tony and whatnot because but I mean for me, I also saw it as like, yeah, like he's giving me Amon Ra, but it's not like he's getting the same target share he was getting last year. Like there's a lot of mouths to feed on that damn offense, bro, and a bulk of it goes to the running backs because Golf is not dropping back as much as he usually does. That running back core, that duo, is doing a lot of work.
I would have to look up their numbers, but I feel like I can damn near guarantee both Gibbs and Montgomery's receptions are probably skyrocketed compared to last year. If you could talk about attempts to yardage, I wouldn't doubt both numbers are way breaking that category base.
Yeah, and that's with us seeing that stat earlier today, in which each of them have gotten 122 carries on the backfield, like complete 50%
I completely
split.
forgot about that. Yeah, then that's a lot, especially when you're picking people are getting Gibbs in the third or fourth round, and you're taking Monty in the sixth, seven
I'll take that value in the 6, bro.
every day of the week. Every day of the week. I don't care if Gibbs gives you 5 more points. That's so not worth it.
Right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, they paid a higher price tag than I did.
Big facts. Now, you tell me. I could be a little bit crazy. I was looking at some packages, and I tried trading CD Lamb, and I
Okay.
got some actually pretty decent offers from Christian. I talked to Tony a little bit, and there was some stuff in the works. Um, when I say decent, I mean like players with high name value. Brees Hall. I'm trying to remember who else he tried sending me. Devontae, somebody else. And then players who were actually not that known, but putting up the numbers wise. Forget who Tony was trying to give me. But the main thing was I just couldn't do it. I look at CD Lamb, and even with his horrible production right now, no Dak, Cooper Rush is fucking garbage. CD Lamb had to deal with blindness of the sun. That's crazy to me. And yet
Some
he still
bullshit.
put up 8 points. Now, if he didn't get blinded by the sun, he would have caught a touchdown. That's another 7. So he would have finished off with about 14. I'm
Right.
not worried about CD. I'm worried about CD. But to the point, I'm not losing his value. I'm not willing to trade him for less just because, hey, whatever, I can plug and play somebody real good. CD still has the potential to drop 30 any given Sunday. He just needs the ball. That's it. I'm sticking with CD. Call me crazy. Again, I turned down some good trades, but I think it's best to stick. He's a goon. You can't. Been saying this since year one. You can't bench your goons. You got to stick with your goons. That's what I'm riding
I
with.
per- I personally, bro, like I don't think it's crazy at all. I mean, what were you gonna do? Get rid of CeeDee Lamb for another problematic player like Brees Hall, who hasn't done shit in weeks now? Like, and what? You're gonna get two players from the same team when that fucking Jets offense can't even move the fucking ball.
Yeah,
So you're not really getting any value there, and he's really just buying low on CeeDee Lamb at that point, in my opinion.
it's extremely, extremely. There was somebody else. I don't remember who it was. I would have to look at his team to remember. But yeah, all in all, I was like, nah, it's just I'm better off going ahead and hoping that Cowboy, balls out one day.
I agree, man. You took him in the first round. I don't really like to ever give away my first rounders. I mean, I like to stick and buy and die by them. I'm willing to trade usually everybody else, but that one is so it's like I paid such a high price for him that I'm just gonna stick it out. It is what it is, type of thing. Unless like I come across a trade that it's just like, oh, okay, I can't say no to that.
It's funny you say that. I feel the same exact way, but with my second round pick. I feel like
Okay.
the first round pick, half of them are busts. It's every year because players get projected into it. I mean, CeeDee Lamb this year is not a first round pick. Tyreek Hill is not a first round pick. McCaffrey shouldn't have been a first round pick. Like, we've had multiple players stuck from the first round. Second round, in my personal opinion, you have to think a little bit more difficult. You got to think a little bit more into it in the sense of, all right, if my first player is set running back or receiver, who is the best at this position? But then you look into it. I mean, me personally, I would look into it as not heavily 5 weeks, but matchups throughout the first couple of weeks just to see how it's going to play forward. And then you make a decision. I put more effort into my second round pick than I actually do my first. My first are usually gimmies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but
It's more of like, okay, let's see who falls off the board, and whoever's there for me, I'm just gonna take them.
first round, I usually would like to stick with a running back, but my game plan is best player available because, like I
Likewise.
just said, half of those players bust. So I want to get the highest one that I think will not bust. Second round, then
Absolutely.
I'll focus on, oh, I got a receiver, so let me go for a running back. Who's the best, or vice versa. You know,
Agreed.
maybe it's time to start drafting quarterbacks in the first. Sorry, Anthony.
Please, for the viewers, please do that. And you play in my league, please do that because then I'll be hosting the trophy once again if that happens. We
We
need more people like that in the league.
we say that only because it's happened in the past, and I'm just like, that's so absurd. That's still crazy to me, man. You get a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. I don't agree with it. But hey, everyone pick. You do your thing, baby. Do your thing. Anyways, getting back to it though, man. Your boy Puka with 18. Like I said, it got to the point where I just couldn't even watch it anymore. But then I turned the TV right back on, and I'm like, fuck, stop catching it, Puka. Man, you traded Puka for Jefferson for Puka, right? I'm trying to remember.
No, it was a big package deal, bro. I got all these guys in a huge package. Remember, it was Kenneth Walker, it was Bijan, it was Puka, it was Monty. That I got all that in one trade, bro. And I gave away Justin Jefferson, Rashad White, James Conner, and then there was one more.
James
I just
Conner.
forget.
The James Conner one might have been the best player in that trade right now. Thinking about it, that's
Yeah,
why.
there was one more. I just forget who it was, but still, bro, to get all those studs in a package from a guy that literally panicked early on, I'll take it.
That's what it was. You took advantage of the panic. You're talking about Christian possibly buying low on CD. You bought low on Puka, Bijan, David Montgomery.
Yep,
That's
I did because before they got actually rolling and you saw some consistency. Um, I was like, okay, this is what's gonna happen the rest of the season. I'm just if whatever happens from here happens, but I know I started 3-0, so let's take the chance here. It's not like last year. Remember when I took that shot with Jonathan Taylor and it took a shit?
backfired.
So we had to make up for that, bro.
And hence team, I just want to put that out there. You guys already know I stated it from the beginning. Bijan was going to be that dude this year. I felt it. I seen it. Miss Cleo Crystal Ball, insert me. Miss Cleo Crystal Ball status. I'm telling you, it was all there. And then man, Harry talked to me one random ass day about Bijan. I didn't even know he was trying to get him. Next thing you know, this bomb monster trade happens, and I'm like, yep, you did the right thing. Obviously, because he stole a million players, all high caliber, but he got the best running back in the league right now. Shout out Bijan, baby. We'll get to you in a minute, dog.
Hell
My dog.
yeah.
But, it's funny enough, before we even get to Bijan, we're going to have to backtrack a little bit. Week 5 or something, we made a huge trade, me and you. I gave you Jalen Waddle and Brock Bowers, best tight end in the freaking league. Another one hands team. Your boy drafted him. I drafted him in 2 leagues. I called that. I knew it. And you ended up sending me Kamara and Ingram. Ingram is a slap in the face because I drafted him in a league. He never played. I had to drop him. I got him traded from you. Kept him for like 3 weeks. And didn't play, so I dropped him. Every time I play Ingram, he goes off against me. Me and Ingram ain't cool no more. Fuck you, Evan. But as for the Kamara aspect, I appreciate you. It was pretty fair. I mean, shit, I think Bowers is actually putting up more than Kamara lately, but it's still pretty fair to this day. Hands team, it was a little bit of an iffy trade. I mean, I thought Jalen Waddle was going to be the Jalen Waddle of last year. So it was.
I didn't even get to use him.
Yeah, didn't even use him. And, so we basically traded Kamara for Bowers, honestly. Because I never used Ingram,
which I'm not really mad about. I'm not really mad about because of the moves I made after that, bro. But like, just thinking about that, just that being a straight up trade, like that's a steal for you with how he's been playing this year.
Yeah, it is a steal, but I would argue it's not. How many? Do me a favor. Can you pull up how many the points does Bowers have right now? Just out of curiosity.
I got you. Hold on.
And
it makes me go.
How much?
Hold on.
We lost my hands.
How much total points?
Yeah, total points. I mean the year stats right now.
That's under fan points, right? It says 128.20.
Okay, what is?
Or is that wrong? Let me see.
I feel like Joe Rogan right now. Here, cue it up, Jamie.
206.
Never mind. Okay. So yeah, Kamara's definitely doing better, but I don't know. As of late, I feel like Bowers is just pushing it out, man.
And no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it at all. But I've been kind of a little worried since Jacoby Myers came back because he's been taking a lot of fucking targets, dog. And I wish, like, I don't really like to wish anybody injury, but I wish he would have like some sort of, never mind. I'm not really trying to wish that upon anybody, but like it would be nice for him not to be in the lineup because he's been taking a shitload of target share.
I wouldn't be. Jacoby is nice and all, but he's a role player. I wouldn't be too necessarily worried about him. He's one of those players that'll put up numbers, but isn't a big name. Bowers is the go-to, whether it's short yardage. Jacoby is going to get the deep passes, 100%. But when you look at the money, and I'm talking end zone, red zone, that's Bowers all day. Yeah, Jacoby gets touchdowns. I'm not saying he does it. Bowers is the number one read there in the end zone, though, and that's not going to change. And it doesn't even matter because who is their starting quarterback this week? Is Minshew, I believe. Minshew will go back to Bowers. Minshew likes Jacoby. Maybe you're right on this one. O'Connell's the one that likes Bowers. Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, I think the level of play and skill-wise is far more superior. And Bowers just had the red zone threats. Jacoby will get 5 passes going down the field, but that touchdown, that's going to Bowers. At least that's
and what I've been noticing, I don't know if you've noticed it, but like almost on a weekly basis, the amount of fucking points this guy gets in garbage time is crazy, dog.
Yeah. Once the game reaches out of range, he's like, all right, let me just start tallying them up. Because that's all he's been doing.
Wild.
It's awesome.
Wild, because like what happened with Kareem the other day, bro. He had like 6 or 7 points the whole game, and then the last literally minute of the game, he scores it's a long pass or something, and I don't know if it was he scored a touchdown on it, and that was like an 8-point swing right there. So he ended up with like 15.80 when he had 7 fucking a minute ago, and I was like, let's go.
No, it doesn't get much better than that. Garbage time points are my favorite thing, except when they're against me.
Facts.
That is the number one clear-cut winning status, is when your player who's having a bad game ends up just fucking revitalizing himself within that last couple of minutes or minute in your situation. So that's awesome. Now, your boy Bijan, dog. What more can we say? I've spoken already in my other videos of how he went the last 5 games. I looked it up, bro. He's gone over 100 scrimmage yards over the last 5 games. He is averaging 4 passes, 4 catches. I don't know how many targets. 4 catches a game. Doug, when you're getting 18 touches, 4 catches, and you're going over 100 running, I don't even know what else to say because he also has been averaging at least 1 touchdown a game. I think he got two. He got 2 last week, and I think he got 2 weeks before that.
Right.
These last 5 games have been a freaking monster spread, man. He's been just. I'm trying to think of a good reference, whether it's the bakery or the deli, because he's just been cold cutting people up left and right. It's been so nasty. And every time I see him come to the side, I don't know what he's going to do. His jukes are so bad that I'm sitting there watching TV like, shit, which way is he going? Like, it is crazy. You really lucked out. Well, not even lucked out, but you really pulled through heavy with that one. He gave you a nice 29 spot. Granted, I don't see Bijan dropping 30 every game. I definitely could see him dropping 30 a couple more times this year. But I am seeing him continuously of that 16 to 20 range, which is phenomenal, man.
Hey, I'll take that.
How much more do you want? That's nothing more you can do.
No, right, man. I mean, Atlanta finally real found a way to give him the ball. I mean, like I understand Kirk Cousins is a gunslinger and all, but he's your fucking best player by far too. So give him the fucking volume that you need to give him in order for him to be successful because he's too good to be putting Algier out there as often as they were doing early in the season, bro.
Bro, that when you were saying, and I understand that Kirk Cousins is a gunslinger, I'm like, it's not even about Kirk Cousins, man. It's about Tyler Algier stealing so many carries just to get stuffed. So I actually posted. Remember, I sent you the meme of the sequence of events. I actually posted that in my last video just to state the difference in Tyler and Bijan. Bijan effortlessly just fucking skywalks. He could have probably turned around and moonwalked into the touchdown. While Algier damn near gets stopped, gets taken for a loss, gets stopped. It's to the point where it's like, man, exactly what I just said a second ago. What are you doing? Come on.
No, and to your point, like I also like I don't want to completely shit on him because like he's capable, you know what I mean? Like let's say Bijan gets hurt, like he's the best cuff in the league. So like by all means, he's not bad, but Bijan is just that guy.
Second best cuff. Your boy's the best cuff in the league. Monty. David Montgomery?
Yeah.
He's already
You're right. So I have the top 2 cuffs in the league.
He's already started workload, so. But I agree with you as well. Algier is super nice. Algier is, honestly, he can produce. It's just, he's producing behind Bijan, who produces so much better. You're not going to put Drew Brees behind Tom Brady, or you're not going to put, fucking Saquon behind. Nah, Saquon's a bad mix. But, you get what I'm saying.
No, I get your drift. Yeah, for sure.
Now, when we're talking about finally some running backs that didn't do what they were supposed to do, James Cook, he balled out for me continuously. When I say he didn't do what he was supposed to do, I needed one more catch. He blew my parlay. That one's personal. It hit a little bit. But, hey, 15 points. James Cook is very consistent. I think he's had maybe 2 or 3 bad games this entire year, and those bad games were like 5 points, 6 points. It is what it is. The offense is very stagnant at times, and yet between him and Josh Allen, where there's a will, there's a way. These little dumb screens that look like a negative that start in the backfield and end up positive before, man, you get a couple of those a game, and he already has 5 catches for 50-plus yards, a touchdown. I'm very happy with how the work comes. It may not be the flashy of plays sometimes, and it may not be the, boom, I'm going to run you over, or I just broke 5 ankles and I got a touchdown. That does happen. It definitely does happen. but it's not his number one category of how I get my points. And I truly don't care because he gets it. I don't have, he's not touchdown dependent. I don't have to bank that, oh, fuck, they're not by the goal line. He's not going to get anything. No, he's going to get a pass or two. He's going to push him to the goal line, even if he doesn't get the actual touchdown itself. I'm very cool with James Cook. I wish Josh Allen didn't run as much. He ran it in last week. Josh Allen had an amazing play where the defense collapsed a little bit. The pocket opened right up. And you could see Cook on the left side, and he just comes in and just cuts to the right and scores a touchdown. And I'm like, cool, good for you, Josh. But in my mind, I'm like, fuck, why didn't you give it to James Cook? Granted, fantasy football is what it is. Like, David Montgomery, 12 points. That one hurt a little bit, huh?
I mean, not really, bro. Like, if that's gonna be one of his worst performances of the year, I'll fucking take that, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
You're right. You're right.
so for a guy sharing touches, I'll take the 12, dog. I'll take it. Better than giving me like 7 or 8. That's him taking his shit, in my opinion. But no, I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
You know what? You're 100% correct, and I'm just so used to looking at the name and seeing his production, and I'm thinking, my brain had David Montgomery listed as a starter, even though I know he's not. So I look at the 12 points and I'm like, then what you just said, I'm like, yeah, bad game, 12 points. No, that's actually good. And then I'm like, he came off the bench. That's right. He didn't even fucking start. That's a great bad game, actually, for a bench player. I take that. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, it's tough because like I'm getting into this. I don't know if I spoke to you about it yet, but I'm getting to a situation to where it's hard picking between playing him in the flex or playing Pickens. And I don't know if you saw what my choice was, but I'm writing Pickens out right now, man.
And I'm not mad at that at all. Russell has Pickens playing on another level. Pickens is absurd, bro. Pickens is a goon.
Off the wire, bro. Off the wire. Let's go.
I don't blame you, dog. I don't blame you at all. The funny thing is, going with how Russ is playing, I actually picked him up in another league, and I'm playing him next week and for Kyler's bench spot for his bye week. I'm sorry. So let's see what happens. I'm with you. And he could throw 12 touchdowns to George Pickens, and I'll be rooting every single one of them because I need his ass to score too. So that's
Facts. I hope so, man.
and it's funny enough, man. So I picked up Taysom Hill, and I was, trying to talk a little bit to you about it, and I was like, yeah, you like my pick, and you were like, oh, if you want a touchdown, yeah, sure, whatever. Like he's touchdown dependent, and I'm thinking, stupid Harry, what does he know? Because Taysom Hill is supposed to be the starting tight end who's going to get carries. He's been getting 4 carries every game the last couple of games that he's played. He should get at least a snap or 2 at QB. I think the fucker got like 1 carry. He didn't get the touchdown. He caught a couple passes. I'll give him that. He caught a couple passes. But he only gave me 7 points. So,
He started off well. But he nothing happened the rest of the game. He got all his points. I don't know if it was in the first or the second quarter, and then nothing, bro.
So in a sense, it's kind of what you said. I'm banking for that 7-point touchdown. He didn't get the touchdown. He got me 7 points. I thought if he did, because I was hoping that he would give me a touchdown, but I figured he put up enough numbers that it wouldn't matter. Now, if he did get the touchdown, then I'd be sitting pretty 14. I'd be running. I would probably texted you that day, called you that day, like, yeah, you don't know shit. Now, obviously, I didn't do that because that didn't happen. Take it for what it's worth.
Hilarious.
Dalton Kincaid, how bad is his injury? I got him in another league. We got to figure out what's going on with him.
I don't know. I dropped on like a bad habit, so I didn't have to deal with that shit. So you tell me, brother.
I guess I'll have to look at that tomorrow. That boy said, nah, drop. As quick as we are to add, we're real quick to drop. Probably even quicker, to be honest.
Hey, he was just a fill-in spot for my bye week. So whatever happens to him, I'm not gonna no longer need him. So it is what it is.
Now, hitting him, hit him with a flex, bro. Pickens, we already talked about that. Absolute monster. And everybody here knows Cooper Kupp is one of the best receivers in the National Football League. So for Pickens to literally outscore him by 5 points, that just goes, and Kupp put up 15. Kupp didn't have a bad game whatsoever. But that just goes to show that, man, George Pickens is the real deal, bro. He come alive. He couldn't do it with Pickett. He couldn't do it with Justin Fields. Russell Wilson knows how to throw the ball. And honestly, though, I heard somebody talk about this the other day, and they were basically saying that Russ looks like he's taken a step back. He's not trying to be as flashy. He's not trying to do so many things. And they were like, Russ looks like the Russ he did when he was in Seattle. Run the ball. If it ain't there, dump it. If it ain't there, just drop back and sling. And I'm like, I agree. I agree with everything that this guy was saying, simply because I was like, yeah, I don't see much of a difference. Maybe it's less of a scrambling nowadays, but regardless, I was like, this does look like prime Russ a little bit, which is scary for the league, in my opinion. Yes, he was at status for a little bit.
No, yeah, because like to your point, just to add a little bit more to that, his success is kind of based upon having a more balanced team. So when you have a running game that kind of works, and you could kind of fool the defense and do play actions here and there and whatnot, and kind of mix it up. That's when he's at his best. And just to your point, that's the type of football that was played in Seattle, and there's similarities there. I mean, he's got Mike Tomlin behind him, so he's no slouch. He hasn't had a fucking losing season, for God's sakes, and Lord knows how long. So like, I'm glad that Russ is back to normal, because I'm a fan. I know people like to make fun of him, but the joke's on them, in my opinion.
I mean, I definitely make fun of him in some aspects because I love the unlimited. That shit's hilarious, man.
That shit's funny as fuck.
That's right. Dog, he did it to himself, okay? But I love the player, respect the play. So as of right now, I am actually very okay with calling him unlimited because he truly is. So right now, Mr. Unlimited is there 100%.
Mr. Unlimited.
One thing that I did notice too, Najee's play, his run game has been substantial. It's been so much better than it was earlier in the year. And even Jaylen Warren is looking a little bit better too. That, honestly, I believe that's Russ. I think Russ
because he can throw the ball.
I think Russ is opening up the pocket so much and deep and airing that thing out that they're like, yo, we got to get back a little bit. Even if it ain't fucking all man deep or we're running a coverage zone, maybe just have a spy in the back, at least two people. Let's not rush the center, or even if they're not throwing so many blitzes at the team itself and stacking the box, because the amount of difference between play wise is astronomical in my opinion.
Agreed. Well said.
Now, Tyler Bass, we're not even going to get into this one because this might be the first time that your kicker lost out to another kicker. You had Brendan Aubrey, who has been on a tear all year. He's died down a little bit. I'm a little disappointed in that too. Mm-hmm. So I picked him up in another league. After I saw the first game was like 20 points, I was like, yeah, kickers aren't supposed to do this shit. Let me get this man. And, it's 7 points to Bass's 13. It's all game script. It's game flow. It's hard to call on kickers. I talked to Kareem about this, and we spoke on how he probably has the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. The man can probably kick it from the other side of the field goal, the other side of the field with wind in the snow while it's raining. And
you're hilarious, dog.
But it's just he just hasn't been doing it, and honestly, he hasn't been doing it because he hasn't had all the opportunities. The Ravens scored too many touchdowns, while you have other teams, Buffalo, who aren't scoring as many touchdowns as they were just a year ago, so they need to kick that thing. And honestly, I expected more out of Bass, to be real. But hey, we take it. It is what it is.
You know who's been, I don't know if you noticed, but you know who's been good lately is
Dog, that kid's so nasty. I have to look. He gave me a 20-point game like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's nice, bro.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
though when you see that on your in your fantasy scoreboard when your kicker gets you that much, you're like, there's no way I'm losing.
if your kicker or your defense gives you 20 plus and you lose, you
Your
must
team sucks.
you must have not played a spot. You left somebody open. Somebody got hurt because how does that happen? Where they do that at? Like I can't even give you the credit for getting such a good defense or kicker because I'm thinking that's just luck if he can't even get a fucking quarterback or he can't even get a receiver.
Facts.
Agreed. Looking at the defense wise, now this is where the strategy came into play because I was like, all right, New York, and New York has really screwed me. Just side note, but in their bomb ass defense, they're gonna go. The Giants, I'm sorry, they're gonna go against Carolina. Carolina sucks. I had Chuba Hubbard in another league, and I still ran Giants defense because they get turnovers, they force fumbles. They don't get a lot of picks, but they do get fumbles and sacks. And I'm like, yo. If Chuba eats, he eats, but in reality, he'll get 10, 12 points, maybe, around 15. But they're going to get stops. They'll get at least a fumble. Like the Giants defense should finish anywhere between 5 to 10, 7, maybe even higher than 10. Wrong. Yeah. Bryce Young had the best game of his NFL career, honestly. Chuba Hubbard balled, which shout out. Love that. Appreciate you, baby. Chuba Hubba Hub. I did not expect that. I truly did not. I got smashed on it. 4 points. Your team scored double-minded, and you played Los Angeles against Tennessee, which I know you were thinking you were going to get a better matchup too. Tennessee fucking sucks. Will Levis is stepping it up a little bit, but what's the guy's name? Calvin Ridley is balling. Calvin Ridley is looking like the Calvin Ridley that he was last year in Jacksonville, and he was even before that in Atlanta. Atlanta. Calvin Ridley is looking nice. It took the entire year for him to finally step it up. It took 10 weeks, or about 6. I want to say 8 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks ago he started really taking off. But, man, shout out to Calvin Ridley. If I was Calvin, I would place a bet on myself.
Love him. Love it.
Oh, man. But at the end of this is the end of it, man. We're gonna go over the bench real quickly. You really had nothing to do with. You had Bowers and Ken Bowen on bye weeks, which in reality our matchup wouldn't have been nowhere near as close if you didn't. If whether I had if I did have Kyler, yeah, it would have probably been close. But with me dropping Kyler and those two being not being on a bye, you would have smashed. Your 116 would have probably ranged between 130 and 140, in my personal opinion. As Bowers can go for 20, Ken Walker has been balling all year, and so I guarantee he would have gone for 15 plus. Wandale didn't do nothing for me with 10. Bucky Irving, he's a little bit of a confusion, man. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should play Buck. But at the same time, I look at my lineups and I'm like, who am I going to – I'm not benching Kamara. I'm not benching Cook. And then it goes into the receivers. Do I bench Neighbors? Do I bench Lamb? Do I bench Cup? Do I bench any of them for Bucky? That's the biggest grant. So I like Bucky a lot, and I really want to play Bucky Irving. I just can't see me benching one of these other goons for Bucky. That's the honest truth of the matter. And guess who's been taken off IR, baby?
Pacheco, I saw that.
I mean, it doesn't matter now. I told you it was going to happen right before playoff. He was going to be my playoff push to bang. Hands team, I'm not making playoffs. I looked at it. We're done. So I'm just here playing to ruin everyone else's playoff chances. But with Pacheco possibly coming back in 2 weeks, I mean, we see what happens. I'm low-key excited about that, to be honest, just to see. But
see how he looks.
That is going to be also very scary because I picked up Kareem Hunt in another one of my leagues, and I've been running heavy with him. I mean, he's been dropping like almost 19 a game. You have to.
Yeah. 100%.
That's about it, Hands team. this was the week 10 matchup. It's a recap. If you ain't first, you last. And shout out to my dog Harry for coming through. We didn't go over the rankings. I ended up not saving that picture, so we're gonna go over that next time. I'll go ahead and I'll throw the picture in at the end just so y'all can get a great a glimpse view of everything. Like I said, Harry is sitting at the top. He's number 1 right now. I believe I was like 6th or 7th. I'm somewhere around there right now with this loss. I'll probably be pushed down a little bit more. I mean, the chance that I have to make it is, you know, it's very, very slim, Jim. But it is a chance, very possible. I need the right people to lose and the wrong people to lose. So let's see what happens. But Ants team, let's get these dubs, y'all. Appreciate it. I'm out.
Peace.